Welcome back, Toshi Army. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday, hump day, whatever you're doing out there. Hopefully the weather is better where you are than where I am in New England. It is 48 degrees and rainy today, late May, but at least we got sun in the forecast coming up this weekend. Anyways, in today's video, we're going to talk about the one reason why I think next week, about a week from now, we could be in for some massive pumps on Toshi and then other base chain coins as well. It's a very specific reason. It involves me, so definitely stay tuned for that. And first, don't forget, this YouTube channel is sponsored by BTCC. This is my go-to crypto exchange, the one I use. They're fully available for people in the US, Canada, Europe, and everywhere else. So check them out. Use my referral link in the video description area for $10,000 in bonuses. Now let's dive into Toshi. So why am I bullish on Toshi going into next week? Well, it has to do with the biggest project on Base by market cap, which is, of course, Brett, with Toshi being the second biggest project on the chain. So what's going on with Brett in the next couple days? Well, this is going on right here. Brett team initially put up this tweet a week ago, May 14th, announcing the Brett Playboy Mansion party in Las Vegas on December 27th to coincide with Bitcoin Vegas. Of course, they were initially calling it a Playboy Mansion party. Now it is just a mansion party. It looks like it's at some huge house off the strip. I am going myself. I am very excited there. The RSVP is Ben Crypto. Bunch of other pretty big names are going. Who else do we have here? We have Leslie Mata. She is going. We have Rags the X. She's a big Brett influencer. Then we have Tom Crown Crypto right there. Sylvia Magus. So there's a lot of pretty influential people going. Now, obviously, on one hand, I'm just pumped for the Brett party in Vegas. It's in a week. Who doesn't like a mansion party in the desert around a bunch of other cool crypto people? But more importantly, we're here to talk about the price action. And I think this party is bullish on both Brett and Toshi for two specific reasons. One of them ties around prior price performance around previous Brett parties, and there have been others. The other one is kind of the more surprise reason. Could another big entity maybe time an announcement having to do with Brett and or Toshi right around the party? It would certainly make sense. I'm going to get into my specifics on that latter one in a bit. But first, let's get into the price action. So I mentioned that Brett specifically has done prior big sort of mansion parties. December 4th around Art Basel, they did FOMO Fest in Miami. And then in Dubai, a couple weeks ago, May 1st, they did their Carnival parties. These were massively attended. Dubai party had 3,000 people. The Miami party had like 1,500 people. So here's the Brett price action around the two previous parties. So first we're going to look at December 4th, which is right there. So you can see the pump started about a week earlier when Brett was at 1.6 billion. And then right basically at the party, Brett pumped to 2.3 billion. That remains its all-time high. So again, Brett hit its all-time high at its Miami FOMO Fest party, and the coin went from 1.6 billion to 2.3 billion in the week prior. That is pretty massive. Now let's look at the Dubai party. That was May 1st. So May 1st is right about here. Again, the pump started about a week earlier. Brett went from $360 million market cap approximately to $675 million. That is about exactly a 2x around the party. Now, did Toshi also reap the benefits of the Brett party, even though Toshi wasn't technically involved, but they are on base chain, the two biggest coins? Let's take a look. It did, but to smaller amounts. So here's Toshi right here, December 40th. Looks like Toshi went from like 110 million market cap right before the party to about 160 million. So that's pretty good. That's almost a 50% gain, 110 million to 160 million. Now, outside of let's go to the May party. So May 1st, right here. So where is May? So it looks like the gain was a little bit more moderate. In the weeks before, Toshi went from 100 million to about maybe like 150 million. So I think it's safe to say both Brett and Toshi should rise in value next week around the Vegas party. The extent of the pumps, whether they'll be super big or super small, tough to say, because this Vegas party does look like it's going to be a little bit smaller than the Dubai and Miami parties, but still, it's a Vegas party in the heart of the USA. I will be there. A bunch of other people that haven't been to previous Brett parties are going to be there. So there's just going to be a lot of eyes on this party, which brings me to the other sort of, reason why I'm bullish on both these projects going into next week. And it has to tie into what I just said and also Coinbase and Binance. We know Brett is not listed on either of these, and then Toshi is listed on Coinbase, not Binance, but Binance has clearly had their eyes on Toshi a little bit. They tweeted this crossword puzzle a week ago where Toshi is right there. That is not a coincidence. So Do I think it's possible that Binance might try to time a Toshi listing announcement next week with the Brett party, and that Binance and Coinbase might try to time a Brett listing with the Brett party next week? I think it's certainly possible. It's a USA-based party. It's Vegas. I'm going to be there. A bunch of other people are going to be there. There's just going to be a lot of eyes around that. And big exchanges, they like to time huge meme coin listings when either the market is pumping or when there's just a lot of eyes on a project for a specific reason. Maybe it's their conference or something else is going on with the project. So this Brett party, which is kind of like a base chain party in general, could be ideal time. And this is sheer speculation on my part, but I'm long both Toshi and Brett. Am I selling my bags going into next week or anytime? Absolutely not. Anyways, that's it for now. Toshi Army. Drop a comment down below. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Be back later with the video. Bankrupt signing out. Catch you later.